These mashed potatoes are so creamy.
Spain, it's got good beef. All right, people, if you can name that movie, leave it in the comments.
I'm Winter.
And I'm Lee.
And we're from We Cook, We Bake. So welcome.
Today, what we are doing is we are doing crispy roasted potatoes in an air fryer.
In our beautiful air fryer. We actually have a Go Wise USA. It's a 3.7 quart. So it's not huge. It's not one of those extra large ones, but it does the trick for us. So we are going to start today with some potatoes.
We actually have a tip. Now, a lot of the time, you got cutting board that's wiggly. Get yourself a little damp paper towel, and guess what? It's not wiggly anymore.
You can also do it with like one of those silicone trivet things underneath there. Those are a little bit thicker, so it just depends if you have one that's flat. It works really well to keep your things secure.
And I've got a big cutting board, so you know a little silicone would actually make it rock. Why? Because we're going to be using a big knife. When you're cutting your potatoes, you really need to be careful because the knife is the most important, but also a pretty deadly thing. So I'm actually just cutting all the crap part out of the potato. But when you're cutting your potatoes, cut a flat edge so that it doesn't roll around, and give yourself some pretty big chunks. So I'm cutting this into pretty big chunks.
Like 6 pieces. Yeah. It's not a huge potato, but it's not a bad size. So.
And we're using Yukon Golds.
They are so yummy. These mashed potatoes, they are not mashed potatoes. They're
roast potatoes.
These roast potatoes will be so creamy when you get done with them. So
I was going to say, Winter, did you know that I used to help my grandpa plant potatoes?
You did. He was huge into gardening, which is awesome.
Yeah.
What kind did he plant?
He always did the red potatoes.
Oh, I love red potatoes. They're so yummy.
And
we were always not fancy enough to have red potatoes. We always just got the russet potatoes. No knocking of the russet potatoes. They're just fine. They're just used for different things.
My favorite are the Yukon Gold. I prefer a good Yukon Gold to anything.
Yeah, they are delicious. So we use one of the kitchen tools. Like I said, our channel is we're trying to help you use all the tools in your kitchen so you can get food on your table quickly. So, like I said, Lee uses a global knife. It's an 8-inch.
It's a vegetable cleaver.
And it's great.
I love it.
We can put a link in the description below for the Go Wise as well as that knife because they are invaluable. Okay, what are we doing to season it, Lee?
So you are going to be combining.
Oh, me! I get to do this.
Yes, combine those.
Okay.
And the biggest thing, because we are going to be frying these in the air fryer, we need a little bit of oil.
Well, we don't need a lot of oil.
We need
a little bit of oil.
oil.
Okay, so I'm going to just put a little bit of oil in. Do what you want. But that was probably about a tablespoon.
Next, you're doing a half teaspoon of salt.
So that seems a little shy to me on what you usually put onto it.
That typically is, but we're going to be adding Parmesan, which has some salt to it. So you don't need to have a lot of salt in the beginning because you're going to be adding salt in the Parmesan.
Yeah, exactly. So
a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper.
A 4th or an 8th?
Sorry, an 8th.
8th, okay.
And we're going to be doing an 1/8 of garlic powder.
Oh, I love garlic powder. Do we have to just do an 8th? Can we do more than that?
We like garlic, so add some more. So
I'm doing a 4th, okay, you guys?
You're adding a 4th. And then, guys, mustard powder.
Oh, this?
It gives it a little bit of a kick and a little bit of a different
depth.
profile.
I think it gives it a little different depth. And I think that these next 2 ingredients, I think, are the key, actually.
Yes. Some people will not want mustard in it, but give it a try.
It's pretty good. Most of you have mustard powder.
You hate it, you can FedEx me this recipe that you make. Send me those potatoes and I'll eat it for you. And then another ingredient that a lot of people are going to be like, what? This is, how do you say this, dear?
I think you're supposed to technically say it Worcester sauce.
It's Worcester sauce or Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce.
There's a lot of letters, a lot of consonants in it that sound like you should be saying a lot more than you need to say. But I think it's supposed to be Worcester sauce.
Worcester sauce, and that's a 1/2 teaspoon we're going to be adding. When we mix it together.
So if you don't know what Worcester sauce is, it's like this.
Cover your ears for people who are sensitive. It's a fish sauce. It's
kind of, oops.
It is a fish sauce. And it is a very nice, it adds a lot of umami. It adds some sweet, it adds some savory, it adds some saltiness.
Is it really a fish sauce?
It is. It's a fermented fish sauce.
I thought it was kind of just a fermented sauce that sat in barrels for a long time. Okay, I've just tossed it with a spatula. You can do whatever you want. I grew up using my hands when I mixed these together. So while I was doing this, I probably should have preheated our Go Wise USA air fryer to 400. So I'm going to just increase the temperature. But we're not putting the Parmesan in right now.
Ooh.
Why
No,
not?
the Parmesan, because we're cooking at a high temperature for a long time, the Parmesan will burn.
Yeah.
And it will become a very bitter, acrid taste in your mouth. Burnt Parmesan.
Well, so we're going to put that in kind of at the very end. We are using grated Parmesan. So this is like real Parmesan that has been just grated into like that powdery thing.
We're going with the powder grated.
Yeah, because it's all about surface area. So, okay, we've let it heat up for like a minute, so I think I'm fine with that.
enough.
Okay, so you take it out. You've got your basket here. Lee, would you mind dumping that in?
Would you? How long are we cooking it for?
We're gonna do 20 minutes total, and you want to kind of put them all at the bottom, kind of spread them out as much as you can. The air needs to circulate through and cook all of these. They're gonna dry it out to make it crispy, so you wanna make sure that there's a lot of surface area exposed. So we're gonna set it at 400 degrees again, but I'm gonna add the time to 20 minutes. We're gonna check it at 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll come back, we're gonna shake it, we're gonna toss it around, and then we'll come back from there. So we'll be back in a second.
See you on the flip side.
Yes. Okay, welcome back. We're at 10 minutes now, so we're gonna pull it out. Most air fryers, you just pull it straight out, and it will hold its time, it's hold its temperature, and then we'll just put it back in. So you take it out. Oh, these are looking so good.
They're starting to brown.
They're starting to brown. Okay, so you can do a quick shake like this, or you can also use a spatula and just do a quick turn of the spatula. Now, the spatula is really nice because there were a couple of potatoes that were stuck in the bottom, so definitely use a spatula if you need to. The other thing I want to do, give you a tip, is to put a trivet down on whatever surface you're doing, because when you pull it out, sometimes you are going to go ahead and do something like this. You don't want it to burn whatever surface you're on. We don't want to have anything crack. That would be bad. I would feel bad about that. So, okay, I'm gonna stick this back in, Lee, and I
have something very important. She just rambled on. We had a discussion about if this was a fermented fish sauce. Winter was doubting me.
I was a little doubting because I knew it was like stuff that was aged in barrels and it was just stuff in there.
But we did a quick internet search. Original recipe, which we do have right here, does use anchovies.
Okay, what's the name of that?
This is Lee and Perrin's Worcester sauce.
You could probably find that at most of your local chain grocery stores.
That's really good. Sometimes it's got a fancy little paper bag on it.
Yes.
This, found out, is an anchovy-free Worcester sauce.
Yeah.
So.
But they still they try and formulate it in such a way so that it has that similar, like, umami flavoring that will lend to a little bit of richer flavor, a depth that we're looking for.
Yes. Yes.
We're gonna come back when it's about, I don't even know, like a couple of minutes before the end, and that's when we're gonna toss in our Parmesan to kind of warm it up. Okay, we'll see you in a couple.
So we actually cooked it for 20 minutes, and it's looking.
Or it's getting, it's almost 20 minutes.
It's almost 20 minutes.
So we're gonna take it out in just about a minute. We've got 2 minutes left. And then we're gonna put in grated Parmesan. So once again, this one, I would probably go like 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 a cup, depending on how many potatoes. We actually had about 1 pound of potatoes, would you say? Or you use how much Parmesan you think you need to make it delicious.
It's great. It's cheese. Unless if you're lactose intolerant.
You can leave those out. Well, I was gonna say, if you're lactose intolerant, don't do that to yourself. So, okay, so we're at 1 minute. Let's take it out.
Oh, they're looking good.
Okay, Lee's just gonna sprinkle it in.
Sprinkle it in, shake it up.
Now, one thing to be aware of is that there are holes at the bottom of your air fryer, likely. That ours has holes in it to help with air circulation. So it's gonna just a lot of it might fall down into it, but hopefully you'll get nice and coated on the outside of your potatoes. So we're gonna do the last minute, and then we'll just check it out and see how they are. Okay, we're getting close, Lee. We do have a couple of forks.
I got a fork.
I do not want to burn my face off though, so we will maybe let it chill out for a second. Oh, these look so good, I'm so excited. That cheese did melt pretty darn good. It smells good. Oh, I should have done it this way, guys. So you can see the deliciousness that are these potatoes.
This is great.
This is great.
Cheers.
Cheers. I don't want to put my face off. You can go.
Ooh, that's hot. I'd say it's pretty close to 400 degrees for some odd reason.
I'm going to blow.
It's quite hot.
Don't burn your face off.
That's good.
Anyway, well, thanks for joining us today on making these air fryer potatoes. We hope our two secret ingredients, our mustard powder and our Worcester sauce,
Worcestershire sauce,
makes your potatoes just a little bit better. So, bye.
Bye.